good? Are we on? I guess so. You're live would indicate that I would have started the show. Hello, everyone. Happy Sunday. Happy Easter Sunday. Not just any Sunday. A Sunday for reflection and renewal and rebirth and Lent. I got into a mild disagreement at work. If you give up something for Lent, so a guy was like, "Oh, I deleted Twitter off my phone for Lent." And I liked it so much that I just kept it off. It was nice having it off my phone, so I kept it off my phone. Isn't that really breaking the rules of Lent? Isn't it something that you should go back to? I mean, you stop doing it for 40 days. You know, if I said I'm not having any cheeseburgers for Lent, and then I had no cheeseburgers for 40 days, and on the 41st day, I went, hey, you know what? I don't need them anyway. I feel like that's not respecting Lent. I don't feel like it's something that you really liked anyway. You got to give up to get back. Obviously, it wasn't a big deal. You could have done it in February. You could have done it in June if it was that easy to do. I think it's you can't have an easy Lent. You should be miserable. They should be suffering. I guess that's the point. Let's look at these. I skewed the pastel. It was not my business today. I thought I'd swerve into the more formal Easter Sunday black, taking that very seriously. This will be a shorter episode today. After this, I'm having an Easter brunch with my niece and nephew, who will be less than thrilled to see me in a restaurant. You know, if you see someone, if you're at their house, oh, look at all my toys and whatever. And then at a restaurant, they're like, I'm going to sit in my mother's lap. I'm going to get, I don't know, macaroni and cheese. Maybe I'll play with the fake candle on the table. Maybe there's a trick with a napkin or a fork. And that's pretty much it. And then I'm going to be ignored while a waiter talks over my head. That's Easter brunch. But it is an Easter brunch. It's exciting. I will say, outside of Easter, go watch the latest AEW with AR Fox. I've never heard stories like this in my life. And I also think you need to hear about his life because most people don't know about it. And I think it's very important to know that man's journey and what he bounced back from. And it is a lot to become the kind of man he is today. So go watch it, go like it, go comment, go share. They still haven't posted about it on Instagram. They're no longer posting the link now on Twitter. I guess they think the YouTube link is bad for the tweets. It said premiering now, and it was not premiering. So just go tweet about it. Go post about it wherever you can. He's a fine man. Show him love on this Easter. You talk about redemption. Redemption of AR Fox. Starting off hot. Emmanuel had a message and then retracted it. Dara said, good morning. Lovely cult family. Sean said, well, live on Easter. Did someone die for this? Yes. Marvelous Nick said, my favorite thing about Easter is all the pastel colors. Mine too. I wasn't feeling it today. I had a pair of purple pastel pants on the other day. And I liked them so much. And then I sat in the car on the way to Collision. And then I got out and the car was so small, so cramped, they were all wrinkled. I had to change my pants. Manuel said, is The Great Escape the best prison break movie out there? Or is there anything else that's an equivalent or better? Well, I mean, what else would be there? The Shawshank Redemption, perhaps? I don't know how many prison break movies you need. I don't want to see people get out that badly. The Green Mile, even though it's just him dying. Cam said good morning. Miss Sandy said good morning. Mike said good morning. Mia said good morning. Prisma said good morning. So Sierra said good morning. A real romper room situation here. Marvelous Nick said, don't you have to give up something you enjoy so you appreciate it when you come back to it? That's my thing. If you never come back to it, did you really enjoy it in the first place? I think it's it's a Lent fallacy. Leo said, what did you give up for 40 days? Wanking. I gave up watching Art Attack. I've not watched it. And right after this, I'm going to binged the shit out of that Neil Buchanan. Kevin Featherstone said, "Good Sunday, RJ. What are you spending? How are you spending your Easter, and what are you wearing?" Well, again, I will reiterate, I'm wearing the formal black. And after this, I'll be going to a brunch with my family Easter brunch. I do want to say that brunch food in general feels like it's getting too rich, too old world royalty, where the sign of wealth and health was fatness. It's always these I don't know what happened, but it was like either chicken and waffles or duck or French toast, but it'll be like French toast with the cheese on it. There's nothing that's just like straight sugar anymore. Miss Sandy said, "I gave up hope for Lent." You're gonna get it back today. These are the Lent rules. Leo said, "I gave up wrestling podcast for Lent. I went from 0 to 0, and I don't think I'll need them ever again." Go listen to one. Go listen to me talking to Gregory Iron on his YouTube. Go listen to Tony Schiavone talk about days from his past he doesn't quite remember. Gina said, "Good morning. AR Fox was a delight. I played along. We played a wonderful game, which everyone needs to play, called Prison or Wrestling. It's a good game. I got them all right except the Tony Schiavone question. I work in the jail, though, so maybe it's an unfair advantage." Yeah, Gina, I'd say it is an unfair advantage. You work in, what do you do in the jail? Mia said, "I have to paint eggs with my nephew. I've never painted eggs before," which is shocking because you're an adult now. Thought you would have crossed paths with an egg and a watercolor paintbrush at some juncture. I did not paint any eggs this year. I liked the dyeing. You put a little of the vinegar and the food coloring in the water, and you dunk them in the cup. They had a little copper octagon thing. You would buy them at perhaps a CVS. And then they got a little extravagant. Or the stickers, and there's a wax crayon, and it's enough already. Chronic said, "Would you please consider signing my shirt at the New Orleans show?" Here's the issue, Chronic said. At what point have you ever seen me on Dynamite or on Collision, especially in front of the people? I've been on the show a handful of times. I've been in front of the people once. I can think of once when Renee and I presented the World Championship to Tony Storm. That's like the only time. So you're gonna have to find me backstage. Good luck. I mean, if you find me, I'll do it. Priestman said, "How stoked are you about the upcoming TCM Classic Film Festival? Anything in particular interested in seeing?" Well, I think I'm only there for 1 or 2 days, the Thursday and the Friday. So the big red carpet movie is The Empire Strikes Back, which is a little too new for my tastes. But I'm excited. I'm excited to see Ben and Mario and who knows who we could run into. Tony will be there. It'll be a nice time. Miss Andy said, "An indie show in my area was recently headlined by WWE legend Mr. Hughes. I think they're being very liberal with the word legend. I think WWE is too liberal with the word legend. Legend. Oh, we have a Legends deal." So it's like, okay, Paul Roma's on a Legends deal. I'm like, legally, okay, but otherwise, Marvelous Nick said, "I'm in the studio in the pastel blue hoodie today. I need some pastel pants." Yeah, you just pick only one item should be pastel. The rest you can skip. Leo said, "Do you think Virgil actually liked Olive Garden, or was it some weird thing the guy running his account made up?" I think he liked it, and they ran with it. I don't think he liked it that much. I don't even think he knew he was at the Olive Garden, but I think he enjoyed the bread. Sean said, "Shawshank's pretty good, one of my favorites." Mia said, "I like the show Prison Break." Well, that sort of gave it away. Chronic Snake said, in The Rock, in the movie The Rock, they break into a prison. That's neat in a bad 90s way. Imagine that pitch meeting, huh? We go into the prison. What? W. Stein said, no Easter color underwear? No, and I just explained why. Leo said, the people who did Virgil's Twitter also did Iron Sheik's Twitter, didn't they? Yes, which is a good network. They should do Honky Talk Man's. Who cares? Revive New Jack. Do them all. Marvelous Nick said, brunch used to be waffles with whiskey in Manhattan, and now it's a black tie affair. That's what I'm talking about. Mia said, I'm going to be wearing my Rhea Ripley shirt with my purple leggings, and then a laugh emoji. Zero reason to laugh. Leo said, I bought a Gregory Iron tank top. Ask him about that one. Well, it's too late now. I already did the show, and I'm not doing it again. Gina said, I'm a psychologist in the jail. I see a lot. Never a dull moment. Oh, my God. Are you just like this the whole time? Maybe you should play the episode as a way to reform and kickstart some rehabilitation for these people. It's a real come from behind story. Red Dog said, good morning and happy Easter, RJ, and everyone. See, Red Dog cares about everyone. Leo said, do you like Cadbury cream eggs? Are they too much? Chocolate filled with icing. I like them. I loved them when I was a kid. They're not that big. And there's a hearty amount of chocolate. I think there's a good ratio of frosting to chocolate for what they are. You can't have 10 of them. You'll lose your mind. By the third one, you start waning. But I think they're great. I also like the mini eggs. I like to, do you know what I'm saying? Whoppers, Maltesers, mini eggs is very important to me. What else? Kinder Surprise, I don't really care for. Like that chocolate would be too thin for the frosting. You know what I'm saying? Chronic Nick said, well, that's an injustice. Thanks for your consideration. I don't know what the fuck we're talking about. Marvelous Nick said, he's folding up my resume and throwing it paper airplane style at the backstage area. A good way to get hired at AEW. I'll tell you this, Nick. Worse people have been hired. I've heard of weirder stories, so why not? Leo said, Boogeyman is on a Legend Seal. Thank you for making my case. But does anyone know? I'm sure Christine's doing Easter shit. Does anyone know what episode of Hey that was? That was like 138. I can't believe we're getting close to 150. Mia said, my parents didn't do that for me. My Easter baskets had stuff that I needed, like a necklace, earrings, body spray from Victoria's Secret, and one chocolate bunny. I don't know why we started getting Easter gifts for people. I don't know when some people have like a second Christmas out of Easter, and I think that's incredibly bizarre. Flowers, people buy eggs, bunny shit, fine. I'll tell you what I hate, and I think it's only available in Italian cultures, is the panettone. It's like the shitty bread. It's awful. It tastes like shit. It's always dry. You can't, no matter what you put on it, you just taste that. You don't even taste the other thing. It doesn't mix well. It's terrible. And they should all just go, the whole industry should just shut down. Sean said, a certain someone just went into the WWE Hall of Fame and without naming them, yeesh. Who are we talking about? It could be anyone. W. Stein said, Critters 2 is the best Easter movie. Yeah, but did they break out of jail? Miss Sandy said, friends of mine paid Virgil to watch SummerSlam with them at their house. He wanted some money and dinner. Fucking fair. Fair bargain from Virgil. He talked to me once about how he and Ted DiBiase met David Beckham and Victoria Beckham in and it was an implausible year. It was like in 93. I'm like, how the fuck they wouldn't have been. I was like, sounds great. Leo said, I heard Virgil answered his emails at the library computer and did online gambling on them too. So yes, I did a show with him decades ago. And we were in a hotel at the end of the night. So he had wrestled in, at this point, Under Armour shorts and a tank top and sneakers and knee pads. He would get knee pads. He would put in work. I'll give him that. And we were going, my friend and I were in the elevator of the hotel, about to go up to our room. And as the doors closed, we saw Virgil on the hotel computer. Fair enough. It was expensive to have a laptop, especially back then. And he was in his gear from the show, replete with the knee pads down around his ankles. And as the doors closed, I saw him and I went, "Good night, Virgil." He said, "Night, boys." And that was the last I saw him. Or maybe it was, maybe it wasn't. But in my mind, that's going to be the last I saw him because it was great. Is Greg Valentine a messy eater? I'm going to assume so. I had only had a drink with him. He's a neat drinker, though. Mia said, I also searched for eggs that had stuff in them like money and candy outside the backyard. I loved the Easter hunt. That was a joy. Those shitty little plastic eggs. Maybe there'd be coins in them or something. Those chocolate coins. I really did enjoy looking around a house you knew very well, your own house, just looking for stuff. And now, when I see an Easter egg hunt for, let's say, my niece and nephew, I'm aghast at how easily, how they're barely hidden and they're so easy to find. I'm like, what is with you, children? Look, let's make this a little difficult. Marvelous said those Whoppers eggs were top tier as a kid. There's a good. Leo said Cadbury mini eggs are the best. Miss Annie said New Jack followed me on Instagram. I never knew why. I didn't interact with him. And I never posted pictures of him. So this has happened to me multiple times. New Jack and these people like that. So my first thing is maybe they just don't know what they're doing and they're just following everybody. They're hitting, whatever. Or maybe they have their cousin is their social media manager and they want to grow their numbers and engagement. So they're like, let's just follow everyone we can. Nick said, another inspiration, RJ, time to make some paper airplanes. I have to go do my broadcast, but I hope you have a good day. I don't know what broadcast this is. With the family. Yes, thank you. Miss Annie said, Christina's in Las Vegas for some maniacal wrestling show. Must be WrestleCon. Mike said, why don't they put the episode numbers in the description? I guess it's not necessary. You don't say episode 28, but I like to know for these purposes. I don't know why they put the date in the title. Hey W, June 12th. Who's searching June 12th? I also want to point out there was a wonderful fan-made video. I think the guy's name was like Bob or something. Let me see if I... Bob Boole put together the best of Hey W. It's 56 minutes and 33 seconds. And it was really, really nice. AEW should have done this multiple times. Nevertheless, here we are. They did a great job. Go watch that. I've posted it. And maybe that'll convince AEW to do a proper one, an official one. Leo said New Jack had the hots for mass sanity. That's fair. Shooting Star Press said, is caramelized? He didn't say caramelized white chocolate available in Canada, or is it just an Australian thing? I feel like it's available. Like we have British candy and Australian candy. I don't think it's a hot seller because I haven't seen it. Nick said that's an all-time Virgil story. Leo said, but his gear was probably really bad stuff he bought from a sporting goods store. Like Dick's at best, Leo. Leo said Greg Valentine loves a hotel coffee. I love Greg Valentine. So Sierra said, I love the thought of an Easter brunch. I can't ever go because if I go before the church, I'm begging for a stain on my outfit. So that's why you should wear black like me. And since Easter service is upwards of 3 hours, everything is over after church. Here's a question. What are they doing for 3 hours? I remember Palm Sunday. I remember Ash Wednesday, which is, is there a bigger admittance that the church was running out of rituals? They needed more rituals than they can think up. They put ashes on their foreheads. We give them these leaves. Like Jesus, he walked into town and everyone had these leaves. So we'll have the leaves. Jeez. Miss Annie said, is Greg Valentine as miserable as he seems to be? I don't think so. I think that's just the way his face looks. Having said that, I've never had a laugh with him. Mia said, "Are you eating ham at the restaurant?" I think no, I'm not. I'm not eating ham or going ham. There'll be no ham on either side. Leo said, "Has Sunny ever followed you?" I'll tell you a Sunny story. She was on. I wish I could go back and think what were these shows and when they were. Let me see if I can look it up. I just want to see if I can find the show. A date reference. No, I'm getting Sunny Kiss. Oh, here we go. Is this it? Hmm. New Year's Evil? No. Okay. So let's say this is 2009. Let's just say. Sure. February 20th, 2009. Maybe that's the show. I'm not really sure. But that feels right. So I'm good with it. Okay. So she was on the show, and this was long before any of that other business. And it was like one of the first times I've ever done a show with. She's all nervous and excited. And I remember her looking at me and saying, "You're too pretty for me." And I said, "I'm okay with that." And then she reffed. She was a guest referee, and she came out in a ref shirt and shorts and Birkenstocks, the ever-alluring footwear choice of all special guest referees. And she reffed a women's match. And instead of, she had no knee pads, unlike Virgil. And instead of getting down on her knees to count the pin, she would just bend over and go 1, 2. And it was the most bizarre thing I've ever seen. So how does that work for you, Leo? Gina with a wonderful goldenrod tribute. Better than candy. Here is money. Happy Easter. God bless you, Gina, the prison psychologist. What do you do? What are you doing? If the prisoners knew that you were spending your Sundays watching this, they would not be taking your advice. My Sandy said, New Jack bled on me during an ECW show in 1996. This isn't as shocking as it sounds. I think I did one show with him, or I was at one show with him. I think I did one, and I was just mortified. And there's some story about him trying to cross, because they had back in the day, they would have to the indie promotions here was so cheap that they would like fly you into Detroit or Buffalo and then have somebody pick you up and drive you over. And he was trying to get over with all these weapons. He had like a machete and shit. And he's like, well, I use it for my wrestling. I was like, yeah, but please. Leo said, is Greg Valentine on a Legends deal? If he's not, he needs to be on Hay. I don't think it prevents you from being on Hay, the Legends deal. Because I think Rob Van Dam was under one. And then he was on Hay. But then they say weird stuff. It doesn't matter. You can say weird stuff about AW and still be on Hay. That's half of what Hay is. Mia had another good example of a pointless ritual. Good Friday. What are we doing? What are we doing? Easter Sunday, Easter Monday. The Saturday is nothing. Very weird. Austin said, hoping to find a white rabbit today and follow it down to Wonderland. That's also weird. Leo said, Greg Valentine is like a French Mastiff dog. What a specific analogy. Always looks a bit sad, but doesn't mean he actually is. It's just his face. It's the opposite of, a dolphin. Just because they have this smile carved into their face doesn't mean they're happy all the time. So Sierra said, for Easter, it's regular service plus an Easter skit. One of those teens does a devotional sermon, and then all the little kids do Easter speeches. And lastly, the Easter basket giveaway. This is too much shit. They should really make it 2 nights. Leo said, imagine Sunny when she was still hot telling you you're pretty. Would be bad now, but then it would be good. Mia has a wonderful goldenrod tribute. Use this to tip your waitress or grab some coffee. Happy Easter. Mia, of course, tweeted about the AR Fox episode, but in a way that I cannot feel comfortable retweeting it. But thank you. Leo said maybe she was bloated and would throw up if she got too low to the ground. Certainly a possibility. Mike said she's the one guy Sonny didn't sleep with. That's my legacy. Debbie Stein said, what are your thoughts on Easter egg dioramas? Well, what else are you going to do with them? If you're not eating them, you'll make them on the Friday. You'll decorate them. They're hard-boiled. You decorate them. If you're decorating them, you should really display them. You're not going to decorate and then immediately eat them. Why not just eat them? So as long as they last for the week, but by Monday, I want all of it gone. KB Bob said, happy 420, RJ. It's all coming together today. What a wild time. Mason said the WWE Legends deal is mostly a merchandise rights thing, I think. It's also like a holding thing. So they could prevent you from doing stuff they don't want you to do. Mike said, have you seen the Maven Just Incredible video? It's so depressing. I'm a little tired of this Maven guy. He does these investigative reports. When did he become Diane Sawyer? And it's like, was Saturn stiff in the ring? I'm like, I don't think that's a case that needed to be investigated. How big was Paul White? Maven investigates. I think we got a good idea of how large the man was. But thank you. Look, he's trying his best. Leo said, do you flirt with the Waddies? He's speaking street language. I'm not familiar with it. Leo said, can you get AEW to do a gimmick battle royal at All in Texas like the one at WrestleMania 17? Yes, and they're all AEW gimmicks. And it'll be Dr. Luther and Michael Nakazawa, and it'll be a nice time. Austin said, you would not believe how much chocolate I bought for Easter this year. Might snack on a chocolate bunny before we go over to my cousin's for Easter dinner. Once I go to chocolate, I can't go back. I'm really linear in how I eat. I can't have breakfast, ice cream, and then lunch. If I had ice cream before lunch, I'd have to eat ice cream, chocolate, candy, all that shit until I go to bed. Mia said, Tony Storm took a picture with the Sandman yesterday at WrestleCon. It looks awesome. She's fucking nuts. I would love to know if the Sandman knew what he was doing. He's like, what, am I in the past? What has happened here? Leo said, didn't Virgil say Bryan Danielson was 4'11"? Also very possible. Daniel Bryan, known liar. Leo said, so I want Ultimo Dragon to do at least one match in AEW. He looks very good. I saw him on the cruise. I saw him in Buffalo years ago. He did a Greektown show maybe a month ago. He's in good, happening shape. I'll say that. I don't think that's ridiculous at all. I mean, I don't know the logistics of it, but I don't think it's completely out of the question. I want Paul Roma to do one. I don't know why we don't book more random people like that. Miss Annie said, Sandman has a podcast. Is it called? He seems to remember more details than I thought he would. That's wild. I don't remember details about my own career. But you also, you have to have the guy. You have to have the Conrad to go through your cage match profile. Kevin said, I drove Sam into a wrestling show last month. A nice guy. I dealt with him twice. And both times, I don't think I really spoke to him. I mean, he hit me. So he certainly knew I was there. But I don't think we communicated that tightly. By the way, you can buy my coffee at rootlesscoffee.com. You can buy the new Wrestling shirt at shopaw.com. So many things are happening. More videos coming next week. I've started to play the Power Rangers, the new Power Rangers video game. So that will be coming out next week. I'm opening more cards. The videos are coming back. The setup is not there the way it was before, but it's slowly coming together. Where's Nails? Where's Christine? Did everyone leave me? I feel so sad and so lost. I'm just here with Leo. You know, what are we going to do with Leo? Seek the Visceral said, good morning, RJ. I'll buy your merch after I pay my taxes. Get your taxes done. That's also important. Anyway, that is the show today. It's a short show. I have to go do this brunch. This is cutting into the brunch hours. I didn't fucking calculate correctly. This is my niece and nephew are ruining my life. Go watch the latest AEW. You have 30 minutes to do it. Go watch it. Go like it. Go comment. Go share. Go tweet about it. Go post about it. Go tell AR Fox, jeez, that's some pretty fucked up shit. That's all you have to do, and I'll be happy. And then your Easter will be complete. There's nothing else happening today. I promise you. Let's go look at these. There we go. Excellent. And in the meantime,